Hey, aka Ricardo here with Not So Secretly Awesome San Diego, and it is Saturday of Comic Con, which means if you have any nerdy strain in your body whatsoever, you are downtown right now with tens of thousands of other people at the convention center, or if you weren't able to get tickets like us, well, then you are frantically searching YouTube for footage from panels taken by other nerdy people who are downtown San Diego right now at the convention center. Now, for Comic Con, here at Version 0.1 Studios, we put together a lightsaber fight that you guys saw a second ago, and we'll be putting the fight up on YouTube individually on its own too once all the special effects are completed. But as you can tell, we are not exactly professional lightsaber fighters by any means. But what we discovered is that there's an underground lightsaber fighting scene here in San Diego, and we went to 3 of the groups here in San Diego to try and learn more about how we could become better fighters. Let's go check them out. Our first stop was the Order of the Rebel Knights, a local lightsaber choreography workout group that meets in Balboa Park.
We have a warm-up routine we do, where we have basic sequences of strikes, parries, and footwork that we go through as part of our warm-up, and those sequences are the basis for the choreography we create. So they're like the building blocks. It's like a modular system. We work out at Balboa Park on Tuesday nights, but because of events at Balboa Park and seasons, things do change up a little bit, time and location. So like, for example, right now we're at the Oregon Pavilion at 8 o'clock because they have a concert series. But once that's over at the end of summer, we'll go back to our previous time, which is 7:30. So, but anyways, just check the Facebook group, and we usually have 2 workouts a week, usually Tuesday night and Saturday morning.
All a person would need to join Order Rebel Knights is just their presence. We can help providing a saber. If you don't have a saber, you can borrow one of ours. All you need is a good attitude to come and join us.
We do this because A, we're Star Wars geeks, well, that's most of it, and B, because we found that geeks aren't very good about getting off the couch, so this is a way to trick ourselves into getting some exercise. I always wanted a lightsaber, so I said, I'm gonna get a lightsaber. Then I got one, and like, now what? I think I need to play with other people that have lightsabers. That'll be fun.
I was always in awe of people on YouTube creating choreographed fights, posting those videos. I thought it was one of the most fun things in the world out there. I always liked the martial arts aspects, but I do like safer martial arts that involve maybe a plastic tube instead of a sharp weapon. Something that's safety, low contact, minimum risk of actually getting hurt. And then that was all a theoretical dream requirements for me. And then one day I was walking to Balboa Park and I saw Order Rebel Knights
carrying a bow and arrow, by the way.
Yes, I was armed.
Have you done any really cool performances of your choreography or anything like that?
Last year at Comic-Con and this year at Comic-Con we're going to do another one.
It's a group fight, involves 6 people. There's only one victor at the end, only one person survives the fight. And see us on Friday and Saturday performing this piece at Comic-Con and at ULF San Diego.
That group is totally awesome, and they will be performing on Saturday evening at the Underground Lightsaber Fight, which you will hear about in a little bit. But we were really interested in the idea as well of lightsaber combat, and to learn more about that, we went to the San Diego Sabers, a local lightsaber combat training and competition group.
Absolutely. So we started this, gosh, almost a year and a half ago now.
Yeah, it was the tail end of 2015.
Right when Force Awakens was coming out.
Yes.
And Eric and myself and our other co-founder, Robert, got together and said, we've been looking to do a lightsaber combat group different from exercise or choreography groups, which are a different style of group, and we couldn't find one here in San Diego. And we sat down one day for boba, and decided to start one. And Eric had a ton of experience in the area and offered to train us all. And so that's where we started about a year and a half ago. And our first meet, it was on January 9th.
Yes.
And there were 8 people that showed up, I think.
8 to
maybe 9
ish. Yeah.
There's a picture somewhere.
There is a picture somewhere.
And now we train. We've got 2 big trainings a week. We've got some specialized trainings outside of that.
Yep.
And these big sessions are typically 20 or 30 people a week.
Most people that show up are designated as initiates, as long as they are over the age of 13. Anyone younger than that is a youngling, and they have specialized training with either a knight aspirant level person or higher, which is something I'll get into in a minute. And initiates and younglings are essentially just part of the group. They train with everyone. We have a good time, have fun. And then Padawans are initiates that have a dedicated instructor, like a master or a knight that does one-on-one training with them. And then once they are ready for their trials, then they become a knight aspirant. And so after they pass their trials, then they become a knight, and they're encouraged to take a student of their own and train a student. And then after that, they can start on their master's path, and it just keeps going from there. But that's the long and short of it.
Kind of the basic levels, to join, you show up.
Yeah.
There's no fees, there's no application. We do have people sign a waiver because,
Yeah.
at your own risk.
Right.
But other than that, if you're sparring, we want you to wear some sort of protected headgear.
Like a fencing helmet or something.
Yep. Which are really pretty cheap. And some sort of hand protection.
Lacrosse gloves, hockey gloves, something with thick padding.
Could be motorcycle gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a pair of gloves, they would probably work. Outside of that, then people go optionally to buy armor and lots of other padding because it is full contact.
Yes.
We don't require it. That's more investment. That's more work. But the people do find it tends to pay off at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, definitely. But and then just a lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need a lightsaber.
You need a lightsaber.
I guess
yes.
So, yeah. Although even in the early days, if somebody just wants to come check it out, we always have extra gear and extra lightsabers, and somebody just wants to come play for a couple weeks and see if they like it or not. We got gear. We don't require you to throw down $100 or $200 on gear before you figure it out if you like it or not.
Right. Yeah.
And with that, we finally found groups that not only teach us how to be better lightsaber choreographers, but also better lightsaber fighters in general. But where could we possibly, outside of these groups, show off all of our work to the community? Well, for that final element, we're going to take you to the Underground Lightsaber Fighters of San Diego, a monthly underground group that is having a fight later tonight, Saturday, that you should definitely check out.
So my name's Nick Marico. I'm the founder of the Underground Lightsaber Fighters. We're based in San Diego. We expand with chapters in different cities. But right now, what you see behind us is our, it's our upcoming event. It's a warm-up event before our Comic-Con event in July, which is the biggest lightsaber battle in the country every year. We have a fight once a month. They're usually on the last Saturday of the month, depending on other events. For example, Comic-Con itself, as we talked about, is not the last Saturday. But they have tournaments that go on where the best fighters from all over the country come down and they compete for prizes. Usually the grand prize is a combat-ready lightsaber. Right now we're in San Diego and we meet in Balboa Park once a month. It's the greatest park in the country, if you ask me. It's an amazing spot. But there's so many other clubs that meet on a regular basis. At Lionheart Fencing Academy in El Cajon, we run a lightsaber class every Tuesday night. And we also do kids' parties and corporate events on top of that. So I'm doing a lightsaber thing every 3 to 4 days. But our Underground Lightsaber tournament takes place once a month in Balboa Park.
What inspired you to start a massive underground lightsaber fighting group?
The word massive wasn't involved in the inspiration. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I have a great Star Wars tattoo on my chest, and I just love it. When the new movie came out a couple years ago, Force Awakens, I was like, it's time for me to spend some money and get a nice lightsaber and make some friends who are involved in this. But it was kind of hard to find any uniform rule set for all the different groups that exist. So I just started doing it myself here, and then it grew and grew and grew with interest. So now it's massive. Once upon a time, I was like, I'll have 5 friends in the backyard.
If somebody wants to get started, say, in getting around to lightsaber fighting, what would you recommend they do?
Your first bet is to get yourself a lightsaber. The second thing you're going to do is, if you're going to actually go into combat, is get yourself some thick gloves. Lacrosse gloves work really well, and a mask of some kind that can take a beating. Fencing masks, kendo masks. There's not really any kind of ultra sabers or lightsaber mask out there right now, so we have to steal this kind of stuff from other sports.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Check them out.
It was a pleasure.
Hey, we really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like, comment, share, and as always, subscribe to our channel. We would really like to thank all 3 of the lightsaber groups that we featured: the Order of the Rebel Knights, the San Diego Sabers, and of course, the Underground Lightsaber Fighters. If you want to find out more information, all of their links are down below. And if you want to get a first-hand look at what they do, then on Friday, look for the Order of the Rebel Knights outside of the convention center, where they will be doing multiple performances of their most recent piece of choreography. Also, on Saturday night at 8 p.m., please go to Balboa Park, the fountain near the Natural History Museum and the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center, where you can witness this month's Underground Lightsaber Fight. And because it's Comic-Con, it will be one of the largest underground lightsaber fights in the entire country. It is something you do not want to miss. As always, I hope to see you there at those events, and I hope to see you on our next episode of Not So Secretly Awesome San Diego.